In this video, we are going to show you the perfect itinerary for the Rio de la Plata region, covering the Argentine capital, Buenos Aires, the natural Tigre Delta, and the charming historic city of Colonia del Sacramento in Uruguay. One of the questions we get the most is how to build an itinerary that combines the vibrant urban life of the Tango capital with nature and history tours in neighboring cities in a logical and economical way. To do this trip without rushing and truly enjoy the gastronomy and boat tours, we recommend at least 7 to 8 days. That is why we prepared a super complete 8-day itinerary with the best of this region, detailed day by day. So let us get started. What is the best time to visit this region? Buenos Aires and its surroundings have 4 well-defined seasons. The best time by far is spring from September to November, when the jacarandas bloom, turning the city purple and the weather is perfect for walking. Autumn from March to May is also excellent with mild temperatures. Summer from December to February is very hot and humid, which can make walking tours tiring, but the city is emptier. Winter from June to August is cold and damp, requiring heavy coats, but it is the most charming time to drink wine and eat pasta. And how many days to stay? To do this itinerary covering Buenos Aires, calmly the full-day tour to Tigre, and the crossing to Uruguay, the bare minimum we recommend is 7 days. But to take it easy and include shopping and museums, the ideal is 8 or 9 days. With 8 days, you can dedicate 5 full days to the capital, 1 day to the Delta, and 1 day and 1 night to Colonia. Now let us talk about transportation. How to get around on this route. To arrive, you have 2 airport options in Buenos Aires. Aeroparque Jorge Newbery is inside the city and is the best option due to proximity. Ezeiza Airport is about 50 minutes from the center, and the taxi costs about $30. To go to Tigre, the best and cheapest way is the Mitre line train that leaves from Retiro station and costs cents, taking 1 hour. To go to Colonia del Sacramento, you must take the fast boats from Bucabus or Colonia Express companies that leave from Puerto Madero. The crossing takes 1 hour and costs about $70 round trip. Inside Buenos Aires, use the subway Subte and ride-sharing apps, which are very cheap for international tourists due to the exchange rate. Do not rent a car, traffic is chaotic, and it is not worth it. Now, let us get to the detailed day by day. Day 1. The Porteño Heart, Center and Obelisk. Arrive and check in at the hotel. Start your trip at the Obelisk on 9 de Julio Avenue. Walk to the Teatro Colón, one of the most beautiful in the world. The guided tour costs about $12 and is unmissable. Follow Avenida Roque Sáenz Peña to Plaza de Mayo. Visit the Metropolitan Cathedral and see the Casa Rosada from the outside. If it is a weekend, try to schedule the free guided tour inside the seat of government. For lunch, go back along Avenida de Mayo and stop at the historic Café Tortoni. If the line is too long, take a picture and eat at London City or Las Violetas, which are equally beautiful. End the day on Florida Street, the shopping pedestrian mall, and see the dome of Gallerias Pacifico. Have a pizza at Garin on Corrientes Avenue. It is a chaotic classic where you eat thick mozzarella pizza at the counter or in the dining room. Day 2. The Paris of South America, Recoleta. Start the day at the El Ateneo Grand Splendid bookstore, which is inside an old theater and is spectacular. Walk to the Recoleta neighborhood. Visit the Recoleta Cemetery, which is an open-air museum where Evita Perón-es tomb is located. Entrance for foreigners costs about $6 and only accepts cards. Next door, explore the Recoleta Cultural Center and the craft fair if it is a weekend. Have lunch at the traditional La Biela under the giant rubber tree. In the afternoon, visit the National Museum of Fine Arts, which is free and has works by Van Gogh and Monet. Walk to the Floralis Generica, the giant metal flower that opens and closes with the sun. Have dinner at Fervor to taste grilled seafood or at El Club de la Milanesa for a cheap typical dish. Day 3. Nature and Trends, Palermo. In the morning, go to the Palermo Woods. Visit the Rosadal, a garden with thousands of roses where you can rent a paddle boat on the lake. Walk to the Japanese garden, which is impeccable and has an entrance fee of about $4. For lunch, go to Palermo Soho, around Plaza Serrano. It is the coolest place in the city. Try a table at the Don Julio Steakhouse, book months in advance, or go to La Cabrera, which is excellent. If you want to save money, Calden del Soho and Burger Joint are great choices. In the afternoon, explore design and clothing stores on the cobblestone streets. Have an ice cream at Luciano S. or Freddo. At night, the region boils with gin and tonic bars and craft breweries. Staying in a good region will make your trip much easier. The strategy on this route is to choose the right base in Buenos Aires. The first option and our favorite is Palermo Soho, or Hollywood. The advantage is being surrounded by the best restaurants, shops, and nightlife. The disadvantage is being a little further from the historic center. The second option is Recoleta. The advantage is being the chicest, safest neighborhood with classic French architecture. The disadvantage is that some parts do not have a subway nearby. The third option is the center. The advantage is the low price and proximity to the subway and tourist attractions. The disadvantage is that the area becomes deserted and a bit unsafe at night. We created this personalized map that explains exactly which is the best region in each of these cities. Staying in this marked area, you cannot go wrong. We will leave here on the screen QR code and in the description the link to this map. We created them on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices and free cancellation. And remembering that in this link below, we always organize everything you need to set up your entire trip for the lowest price. The sites we use to build our trips and that have everything much cheaper, such as international eSIM, cell phone chip discounted travel insurance tickets for all the attractions we mentioned, good and cheap hotels we have already stayed at, and the global account to carry pesos or dollars. An extra money tip using Western Union to send money to yourself usually gives the best possible rate, almost double the official one. Save this page in your favorites. Day 4. Tango and Soccer, La Boca and San Telmo. Take a taxi or app ride to Caminito in the La Boca neighborhood. It is the most colorful and touristy street. Take photos of the zinc houses and see the tango dancers. Visit the Boca Juniors La Bombonera Stadium nearby. Be careful when leaving the tourist zone on foot. From there, go to San Telmo. If it is Sunday, the antique fair on Defensa Street is gigantic and unmissable. Have lunch at the San Telmo Market, which has gourmet stalls for empanadas, choripan, and coffee. Take a picture with the Mafalda statue on the corner of Chile and Defensa Streets. At night, watch a tango show. Madero Tango is Broadway style, with dinner and a view of the port costing about $60. Piazzolla Tango is more classic in an old theater. Day 5. Modernity and River, Puerto Madero. Start the day at the Costanera Sur Ecological Reserve. It is a huge green area on the banks of the Rio de la Plata, perfect for walking or renting a bike and eating a bondiola pork sandwich at the entrance stalls. Walk along the boardwalk of Puerto Madero, the revitalized port area full of modern buildings. Cross the Puente de la Mujer. Have lunch at one of the famous steakhouses like Cabaña Las Lilas or Siga la Vaca, which is an all-you-can-eat buffet and has good value for money, about $35. Visit the Fragata Sarmiento Museum ship. End the day having a drink on the terrace of Hotel Fena. Day 6. Nature in the Delta, Tigre. Take the Mitre Line train at Retiro Station in Buenos Aires. The trip takes an hour to Tigre Station and costs less than $1. Arriving there, go to the tourist office and buy a boat tour through the Delta canals. You will see how people live on the islands with houses on stilts, market boats, and floating schools. Have lunch at one of the restaurants on the islands, or return to the mainland and eat at Paseo Victorica by the river. Visit Puerto de Frutos, a huge market for crafts, wooden furniture, and decoration. Return by train to Buenos Aires in the late afternoon. Day 7. Colonial Charm, Colonia del Sacramento. Take the boat early at the Puerto Madero terminal. Do not forget your passport. In 1 hour, you cross the Rio de la Plata and arrive in Uruguay. Colonia is a UNESCO heritage site. Walk through the historic quarter, enter through the Portón de Campo, and walk along the Calle de los Suspiros with its original stone streets. Climb the lighthouse to see the view of the city and the river. Have lunch at one of the charming restaurants in the main square. We recommend El Buen Suspiro for cheese and cold cuts platters. Rent a golf cart or bicycle to ride along the waterfront to the Plaza de Toros, a renovated old bullfighting arena. You can return at the end of the day to Buenos Aires or sleep one night there to see the most beautiful sunset in the region and enjoy the nightly calm. Day 8. Farewell and final shopping. If you slept in Colonia, take the boat back in the morning. Use the last day in Buenos Aires for last-minute shopping. Go to supermarkets to buy Malbec wines, great labels for $8, and boxes of Havana or Cachafaz Alfajor. Go to Murillo Street in the Villa Crespo neighborhood if you want to buy leather jackets straight from the factory at great prices. Head to the airport in advance. An important tip is to buy tickets for attractions in advance. Tango shows and boats to Colonia and Tigre in high season can fill up. We will leave in the QR code on the screen and in the description the link to the site where we always buy tickets for the lowest price. It is the largest tour site in the world, and you buy in dollars usually with flexible cancellation. Quick shopping tips. Florida Street for leather and exchange. Distrito Arcos in Palermo for sports brand outlets. Pharmacity for cheap cosmetics. And how much does it cost to eat in Buenos Aires? It is very cheap using the parallel exchange rate. An empanada costs less than $1. A sirloin steak with sides about $15. A full dinner with wine in a good restaurant $20 per person. And what to do at night? Buenos Aires does not sleep. Milongas like La Viruta are authentic places to dance tango. Corrientes Avenue has pizzerias and bookstores open late. Palermo has bars of all kinds. And if you are traveling with kids, they will love the Children's Museum in the Abasto Mall, the planetarium, and the Eco Park. The boat ride in Tigre is also very fun for them. Mandatory documentation for international tourists. To enter Argentina and Uruguay, rules are simple. You generally just need your valid passport. No visa is required for tourism. And remembering travel insurance. Medical costs in Argentina for tourists are charged and can be expensive in quality clinics. We never travel without it. And in the link in the description, there is the comparator we use, which always finds insurance for half the price, comparing the best insurers on the market. We will leave the link in the description for you to guarantee this protection. If you liked this detailed itinerary, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much and safe travels.